Welcome back to another Your Mental Health Matters conversation. I am excited. I am thrilled. We haven't done this in a little while, so I am thankful to God that we are back in this space, and I'm excited for this conversation. It is Men's Mental Awareness Month, which is very important, close to my heart. And I was telling my guests, we were speaking earlier about wanting to just dive into this and just have a quick conversation about where we are. So I'm excited. I see Mr. Drummond just right now. It is Grateful Vori, but I've also been listening to a lot of Wale. I would just tell you, check out Wale if you haven't listened in a while. My brother.
What's good, my guy?
Bro, number one, I think this whole year, this is the fastest a guest has joined my live. So I feel like even my intro I did that quick. I saw you requested already. I was trying to get through it all.
I'm excited, bro.
I'm very excited, bro. I'm gonna start before we even dive in. How are you? How was Sunday treating you?
I'm good, man. I'm in a good place. Last year was crazy, bro. Last year was crazy, but I'm good, bro. I really not to complain, bro.
Oh, we thank God. We thank God, bro.
Clarity would be the word for me.
Clarity. We love clarity, and we thank God for clarity. And I was about to just say, bro, I'm so grateful for you just accepting this topic specifically when I brought it to you. And we're gonna dive into all of that because I got a couple things I need to say to you, my brother. Because we haven't spoken in a little while. So,
yes.
But I do a quick intro and then we dive into the conversation. So, welcome back to another episode of Your Mental Health Matters conversation. Yeah, I'm very happy to be here. It's been a month. Yes, I count. I can give you the days, but I don't want you to think I'm like that surgeon. But it's been a while since we've been in this space, and I'm very grateful for this space. As I say before every conversation, this space is for all of us. This space is for us to be able to come share our mental, come share our experiences, come share our perspectives. And my favorite quote is, a smart person learns from their mistakes, but a wise person learns from other people's mistakes. And I believe wisdom is one thing that God wants for all of us. And that means we can learn from each other in the different spaces we create. And today I am very, very excited to introduce my guest. He goes by the name of Mr. Drummond. And bro, this is the part where I'm going to hand you the mic. I'm going to allow you to introduce yourself, and then we're going to get started.
Of course. Of course. Oh, right now?
Yeah, right now.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man. Just blessed. First, I'm blessed to be. This is not our first rodeo. Like you said, I go by the name Mr. Drummond, certified life coach, motivation speaker, and I'm just sharing my story, man. Sharing my story, being vulnerable, just to inspire people and show them that, like, hey, you can come from nothing, become something. Putting my faith and my trust in the Lord, bro, and just trying to be a walking testimony for people, bro.
Amen. Amen. And my brother, I will tell you, you are a walking testimony. Like the last conversation we had, even now, it never changes. We talk about it all the time. I remember that first time I met you, bro. And I'm a person that I still am that person. I'm not easily captivated, I'll just admit it. Like it takes a lot sometimes. And like sharing that one speech from you, bro. I remember being in the room, like I'm grabbing the chair, like, no, he's saying something. He's saying something here. And just our friendship throughout, bro. And this is what I wanted to address. I said I'll say it when we spoke earlier, bro. Like I haven't met somebody, especially like a guy, right? Like who I've been, because I have bros. I have a lot of my close circle. I've known them for over 15 years, bro.
Yeah.
Each one of them. And it's like it's beautiful when you understand that God brought someone into your life for to be helpful, to be a brother to you. So when we say we choose our friend, we can't choose our family, but we can choose our friends. It's like that's a person you represent to me because you were a brother that I feel like God gave me in a moment that I needed a brother, that I needed to bounce off ideas, not just to like my friends or everything, but also having a fresh perspective of me and me having a fresh perspective of you and understanding how to help each other. And this topic, this is just your flowers, bro. I've been seeing what you've been doing these last couple of months.
Yeah.
And it has been something that has been bringing me a lot of glee, but also I've been listening.
Yeah.
I've been listening to what you're saying. I've been reading what you're putting out, and I just want to tell you, bro, keep doing that, because those are the things that, like, it's always about if you can touch one person. That's what
Yeah.
I believe. And there's been a lot of times where I read your thing, and I'm like, yeah, that's the motivation, that's the encouragement that's needed. So shout outs to you, bro. And this topic, um, inward outward. That's the topic title. And
Wait, before
when I was thinking about this topic yesterday, something happened to me, bro.
I was gonna, before you went in, and I apologize doing this, but
No, go ahead.
I want to give you your flowers too, because agree, I have my own set of friends or circle that I call bros, but then there's people that I consider a friend, I consider a brother, that even if we don't talk every day, it's not on a personal level where it's I met them in college or grew up with them. It's more of like, yo, bro, you have one of the most purest hearts.
Thank you.
Energy is very contagious, bro. And every time we talk, is usually on some deeper, self-reflecting, being real, vulnerable, and you need that because
Yeah,
I can't have all that moments, those kind of moments with my friends, not all my friends, right? And I'm learning as you get older, have certain people for certain things, right? Well, this person you can talk business with, this person you can turn up with, this person you can talk about faith in God. So I just want to give you your because no,
thank
no matter the distance, no matter how long we talk, it's always love, bro.
you.
And
It's
we
always
go
love, bro. Facts.
on for hours. So I just want to say thank you for the opportunity again. I see you as well, and I appreciate you as well, brother. And I just want to make sure I give you your flowers before we go into today's live.
Nah, thank you, my brother, and I appreciate that. And that I truly appreciate. It means a lot, especially coming from you. And that goes into our conversation, actually. It wasn't an interruption, it was a perfect segue. It goes into the conversation of inward, outward, right? And I usually try to give a little premise of why this topic came to my mind. And I was just thinking, when June started, I read Men's Mental Health Month. I knew that. And I created a couple graphics, didn't post them.
Wow.
And my brain just kept on saying, all right, maybe this one is not for the public. For you, what does it mean for you? What it, and like that question sparked my inward outward conversation. I was like, for me as a man, dealing with anything and everything I deal with, one of the gifts I've learned about my life is to look inward first before reacting outwards.
Mm.
It's a different understanding that helps me in my life. And then that's when I was like, I want to have a conversation about this.
Yeah.
I want us to dive into this. And I guess that's the first question for you. Like, where do you go when you're looking inwards? And I mean this pertaining to your identity.
Um. First, that's a deep question. But not to sound cliche, I go to the core, man. I go to the core. I think about the times of not when things are going well. I
Yeah.
think times of my most vulnerable moments, my most deepest secrets, my most darkest days. Because it's through trials and tribulations where you kind of really see the type of person you are, right?
Yeah.
I think the outward is the product who we hope to be, right? Who we want to try to be, who we inspire to
Yeah.
be,
Who
what we
they say when you're not in the room.
hmm what we want people to think of us, but I think the inner is who we are behind the door, under the covers, right? Like, and I think that's what I think about inner. I think about who outward is Drummond, but inner is Dorian.
Yeah. And you said something about like the darkest secrets, right? And like for me, I think at times when we go inward, we have to understand, and I had to learn this to be able to have conversations with myself, where we have to understand that, like, no, you must include the darkest secrets. You can't be over here saying,
Mm-hmm.
I'll deal with that another. No, it's part of it. It's part of it right now. So let's have that conversation with ourselves, because if we don't, and I've seen it out loud, where it's like that conversation you keep ignoring keeps getting you in this place.
Yes.
And I feel like And when I was thinking about this, right, and now I'm here, and I was about to say it, and I'm like, okay, I will say, I'm the only person that y'all to give y'all a frame of thought. I was about to say, and as men, I was telling myself, I don't want to keep harping only on that because this is in a men's mental health, right? But it's also humans, you understand?
Yeah.
But as a man, you have to understand the inward conversation got to be realer than the conversation you have with your top dog.
Agreed.
Can you talk about that a little more and understanding? Because what I'm saying as well is giving yourself space to be wrong, to be not what what you think you are, and rectify it.
Yeah.
How do you go in that process when you see yourself where it's like, okay, this conversation or this thing I'm thinking there's a deeper side to it, and I have to go deeper. I have to figure it out on a deeper level and get there. And so it might be uncomfortable thoughts. Like, how do you deal with that and then have that conversation with yourself?
Something that I've learned and I'm continuing to learn as I get older is like everything starts with you, right? And how you want the world to react to you, respond to you, how you want your people to react to you, respond to you, is how you react and respond to yourself.
Amen.
Right? So it's hard to receive truth from others. It's hard to receive love from others. It's hard to receive anything from anybody if I'm not doing those things for myself or giving to myself. And I think that's the part is, am I happy or satisfied with where I'm at? Because if I'm not, you could only continue lying to yourself to a certain point to when it becomes tiring or that pain becomes too unbearable, right? When they say, when you're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
Yeah, and you're sick and tired of being sick and tired.
My point is exactly. So some people are more self-aware than others, but I'm telling you, it's a different type of conversation when you go home, when you finally putting your head on that pillow and the lights is off and you think to yourself before like what tomorrow is going to be like.
Yeah, I love something you said, and I kind of want to like hone in on that, right? Because I'm Nigerian.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the principles for my culture and my family, yes, they kept it, was they really just didn't take excuses. It just wasn't part of it. Learning in life to shape that to make sure you're not taking excuses from yourself, right? And I think you said something that said that everything starts with you. And one thing, and by the way, this is not to say that we all make excuses, by the way. If you're listening to this right now, there's a reason you didn't go to the gym on Wednesday, and you said you were going to go. We all make excuses. So I'm not doing that. I'm saying when we get to the level of having this conversation with ourselves, when it is serious, when it is moving, when we are going to move from valley to mountain, having a real conversation with yourself to understand that, like, I can't make an excuse for this.
Yeah.
And if everything starts with me, that means every excuse I must bring to me.
Yes.
And oftentimes, even for me, I find myself in a situation where things are happening, and I'm like, bro, how many things did you make to do before you had to do what you said you were going to do? You made a bunch of excuses before you got to the main point. And the thing is cutting that level, and I'm still learning that. But I often think, as you said, everything starts with you. You got to move in that direction, especially if we're the inward thing. That helps you when you look at the world, in my opinion.
Yes.
Then it's kind of like always understanding the world is a mirror. So nothing is happening to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not even going to say it's happening for you. I'm saying it's happening.
Yeah.
So look in the mirror and see how you can move that. And one thing I wanted to go into, bro, just diving in and also having our experiences in hand, right? As living in this country, being 30, you're 33, I'm 33, right?
I'll be 32 next month.
32. So 32, 33, being in our 30s, men in this country, doing well for ourselves, thank you, Lord, and understanding what drives us. For me, I can answer that question. God drives me, number one. But number two, I want to build something in this world. But I often want to ask, like, what drives you? Is it, I wrote here, is it pain? Is it passion? Is it peace? What drives you?
I definitely would say my pain. Definitely my pain, man. And trying to turn that into purpose. And it definitely helps developing and having a relationship with God because everything do start with Him.
Amen.
So I don't make this self-centered, but I just believe that I don't believe that he allowed me to go through the things that I went through, especially early on and throughout my life, just to be average and regular. Like it's hard for me to have that concept of like everything that I've been through was just supposed to be a normal life, and I'm not. I know average normal looks different to people. No success looks different to other people. So I'm not. This is not. This is not about fame. This is not about wealth. This is not none of those things. It really is just like, bro. I can't sleep at night when if I felt like I BS my day, bro. Like I have trouble sleeping. I have trouble. Like I'm extremely hard on myself when I know when I'm slacking or I'm procrastinating or I'm like holding up on something. And something that I've learned is like life is a revolving door, and God is gonna allow you to suffer, and He will allow you to endure until you get it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's where the drive comes from. It's like I want to help as many people as I can,
Yeah.
and I just believe that we're all gifted in something, and I've been blessed to know what I'm blessed to know what my calling and my gift
Yeah.
is at the age of 32.
Yeah.
And that is to share my testimony and my story, bro, because I was given this for a reason, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people I encounter, they all everybody says the same thing, and I'm not saying I'm relying on man on that on that achievement or that boasting or that feeling. It's just I know my words have power.
Yeah.
I know what I am called to. Just now getting consistent with it and trusting Him for Him to build this thing out, bro. So that's really just it, man. I went through a lot. I just don't want other people to have to go through that. And if my words or my video can help somebody, or one of my posts can help somebody, then hey, man,
That's
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 me.
that's the purpose. And I really want to extrapolate everything that you just said, right? Because for me, in my book, I wrote pain first as well when I was
Yep.
writing it. And a lot of times in my life, I've understood that like pain has brought me to the precipice of that question of I don't want to do this anymore. I'm done with this.
Yeah.
I need to find a different way.
Yeah.
And pain has also brought me to understanding purpose, empathy, you know, and just everything that I see, even with myself. But one thing I'm also learning is that when you know your testimony, when you continue in your testimony, when you find your testimony, it will be pain.
Oh yeah.
It will be.
Oh yeah.
I can't sit here to tell you how I feel I am blessed and everything without telling you when I felt I wasn't.
Mm.
When I felt I couldn't, I didn't, all of those things. And I don't minimize it. For me, it's about understanding that's what this world is. There's still some things I'm still saying I can't. I'm still saying I could. Like, it's the
Yeah.
world. It's
Yes.
life happening. But I think it is very important to have your testimony in your mind to understand that, like, this pain you don't want anyone else to feel. So, as you said, it's not about fame. It's not about talking to everybody. It's about your proximity.
Yes.
It's about helping the proximity of understanding that, yo, what drives you? Turn that pain into something.
Mm.
because that pain has done something.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just out now. How do we turn it? And for everyone, that's a different story. But the one thing I've learned through that is through the pain. If you trust God, and I have to put Him as the glue to what I'm about to say, you will find peace.
Yes.
Because then you will start to say in your mind, why is it testimony? I often used to tell my best friend, there are a couple of things that happened to me that I'm fucking mad about, and they needed to happen because how would I know?
Agreed.
I'm mad at that. But like, I also have a thought in my mind about everything that happened for me to understand how would I know? How would I grow? This thing helped me grow.
Agreed.
I wasn't the same person when it happened, so what happened?
Agreed.
So it's like, I also want us to go into like definitions, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Because as we're having a conversation of inward outward, and it is Men's Mental Health Month, I think it's important that we have clear definitions on things, especially as men. So I was telling you, not looking at anyone else, yourself, and saying defining what does leadership look like to me. So that's the first one. We'll go. I have a couple I want to ask you, but we'll start at leadership.
Okay. Leadership for me is being the example that you want whoever's following you to be.
Yeah.
Like, just that's when I think about leadership is you not asking. I have a lot of students that work for me, and like my biggest thing is like if I'm asking you to do something, I want to ask you to do something that I want to do myself.
Exactly.
So just that example, being that example, and owning like your highs and the lows, and being accountable, right? Because no leaders perfect, right? We make mistakes as well. So just being that example, like whatever that I want to portray, and I'm being that example through the good and bad.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. I wrote that down. I was like, leadership is literally you have to just be the example, and if they're not catching on, teach, but
Yes.
always be the example.
Yeah.
And I guess the next thing is work ethic.
Work ethic is, I would say, for work ethic is your ability and character of the thing that you're pouring into your source, your calling, your job. Not trying to get too crazy with the wordplay, but just character. You just what is the energy you're pouring into whatever you do for work?
Yeah,
That just are you
I
strong?
love that character part, by the way, because
Yeah,
yeah,
huge, bro.
it's very important.
Character is huge, man. A lot of people got poor character. A lot of people got poor character.
Yeah,
Just when I think about work ethic, like people have different work ethic. Some people move faster than others. Some people are a lot slower. Some people are more messier. Some people are more organized. So I just think it's just your routine
yeah,
when it comes to work. The type of person you are when you work. You know what I mean? And it doesn't. It's consistent. It's consistent. It's through. It's and that's the thing with work ethic. Like when I think about my boss, she is the same person in a good environment, in an intense environment.
yeah.
When customer service, like someone's barking at us, like she's the same. It doesn't
Yeah.
change.
You know what's funny? You saying that, right? Like before I moved to Dallas, like I basically kind of took the job of my supervisor in New York.
Mm-hmm.
But there was one thing about her, and one thing I noticed that when I said I came to Dallas, I was going to use that secret I saw from her. She would, bro. And I'm like every morning. Good morning, Ismail. Like
Mm-hmm.
tone is not down. And I see her walk around the whole
No
office.
change.
No change. And it's like I know in any of those she could have been having the worst morning, but she still showed up.
That's good.
And it's like learning that, and like leadership is the consistency in showing up. and also understanding your work ethic, and that consistency is what, like, people know that, like, you're a worker. Like, she was great at her job.
Yes.
So it's like that's why I love that you said character, because character goes a long way in people understanding, especially if you're leading people, how
Yes.
you want the work to go.
Agreed.
And so the next one is patience.
Patience.
Yeah.
Patience is trust.
Mm.
Let me keep it very.
Stop.
You're very patient with the things that you trust.
That's a bar. Say that again. Say that for the back.
You're very patient with the thing that you trust. That's like when I think patience, I think of trust. Like anytime I've been impatient or I've been anxious, it's because I don't have faith and I don't trust what's going on. Right. So if I'm growing in patience because I'm on this long line at a grocery store, it's because I don't have trust or faith that it's going to go quicker. So when I think patience, I think trust and faith.
Can I tell you something? And it's a bar. I should have this on the podcast. A bar moment. Let me tell you what my brain just did when you said that. Patience is trust. Then I thought about God. And I thought about you will be patient with God more based on how much you trust Him.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning, especially speaking to men, and the ups and the downs, the lit and the non lit.
Yes.
You will be as patient with God with as much as you trust Him.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes we want to work on the patience,
Mm-hmm.
but we need to acknowledge our trust so we can have a clear view of how to be patient. That's a bar, bro. Bro. And one last thing in the definition portion is love.
Love, 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 love. I'm not trying to steal biblical words, but I would say love is what you treasure the most.
Amen.
Um, it's the things closest to your heart. Because they say love is patient, love is kind. I think that's what you treasure the most, man.
Yeah.
You spend the most time on things that you would jump mountains for, the things you will lose,
Sacrifice for it.
you sacrifice and lose sleep over.
Yeah.
You treasure the most.
Yeah. And I just want to say the reason why I wrote this part in the inward
Mm-hmm.
outward is because each one of these is an inward thing to be outward.
That's deep.
Each one.
That's deep.
Leadership, work ethic, patience, love. It's an inward thing to be outward. If you can't do it inward, it will not show up outward. This one you can't replicate, you can't fake, you can't put a mask on.
Mm-mm.
It has to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that has to be goes to the earlier in our conversations of understanding. We have to have a space of real conversation with ourselves.
Amen.
So, bro, I also wanted to ask, right? Going more into outward, right? The projection, what you project to the world. Because I thought about this because for me personally, I'm a be me. I really don't. I do not have time to be doing any other nonsense. And I've learned that, glory to God, to be that, right? But also, there are the projections where it's like you're not with your friends, you're at work, you're meeting people for the first time, you're in like, whatever you're in a new space, carrying yourself into that space and being you. So, like, I wanted to ask you, what do you project to the world? And I wrote meaning when you get into different spaces.
I ain't gonna lie. Two words came up. Two single words came to my mind, and I would say breathtaking. And, and a friend of mine said this years ago, and he kind of flipped it. He said limited, and I'm like,
Wait,
limited,
you said what?
limited, and I'm like, you mean like I'm lacking or like I don't have nothing? It's like, bro, it's only one you. Like, yeah, there's no one like you, bro. Like, I think like limited edition, like just there's no one like you. There's no one that can ever be the mix and combination.
Right.
So I just say breathtaking because again, it's like, and it's not. I'm not trying to be cocky or like boast myself, but I don't know, bro.
I was
I don't.
by the way, I wasn't about to take it as cocky or boasting, so I have a couple questions because let's talk about it. I'll be feeling that way too. You feel me?
Um,
So, can you dive into the details of like? I don't think it's your friend saying that. You can tell me if I'm wrong. I don't think it's your friend saying that makes you remember that. I think it's you knowing that made you remember that.
I'll
You
let that.
knowing that this was just an observation of what I was working on or who I am trying to be. So, can you in that thought, can you give the details of you having the understanding of I am who I am, and if they see it, it's because I've worked at it.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I like to call it the Mr. Drummond experience. And it's not a reality show. It's not like a facade. It's really you just getting the core of you, man, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Um, I guess that's what I like to explain it, man. I just like I love making people feel like family and feel seen, and I go really hard for the people that I care about.
Yeah,
Uh, and I love to help people, bro. Like I love to help people, and it's not for anything in return. It's really just like, yo, like I just want if you get it, like if you experience me, I want you to be able to live. I mean, I want you to be able to leave from that moment and that time. I be like, yo, damn,
I
this is a genuine,
felt something.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And you know the saying like people don't remember. They may not remember your name, who you are, remember how
I
you
didn't
made them
even
feel.
feel.
And I'm
I,
really big on that. I'm not perfect. You know what I mean? There's moments you could probably catch me in a very bad light. If I'm really, really pissed off with something. Um, but I also know how to like hold myself accountable, apologize, right? I know how to not allow things to prolong if I've messed up. But just really want people to when they leave our proximity to be like, yo, like, yeah, that's a good dude right there.
you know, as you were saying that I remember when I first started Your Mental Health Matters.
Mm-hmm.
Before I made a logo and everything, like I used to write, just words to like, and I used to write, "Leave it better than you found it."
That's big.
And for me, it's like as you were saying that, I'm like, that's one thing I got from God, but definitely my mother. I got from my siblings and just how I've seen them. Like I've been in situations with my siblings where I'm like, I know you don't got to do this, but they're doing it, leaving it better than they found it.
Yeah.
So that example is why those words weren't so true to me. But it's like what you're saying right now. It's kind of that understanding of like what you want to project in this world, especially as a man, is to in any space you're in that you can leave it better than you found it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you can't, you don't leave it worse than you found it. You leave that shit neutral. Leave it where it was. But let's not. And I have a question here. Honestly, it was like four more questions below, but like I think it ties into what we're saying right now. Is I wrote here, making sure that you don't carry pain and inflict it on others.
Yes.
And I wanted to talk about that because I also want to bring a practical solution or tool to this talk is therapy from that.
Mm.
So can you talk a little bit about carrying the pain without passing it on, and also how you feel about therapy?
Oh yeah. I think therapy is definitely needed. I think there's different ways to get therapy. I also think therapy is self-healing as well. That's another form of therapy. Like some people can afford therapy, right?
Yeah,
Or people are nervous to go to therapy. But I'm my signature speech is about not passing your pain on to others. Like that's my signature talk where
yeah,
my speaking engagements has been about like that speech. It's not. It's about unpacking your baggage, right? And
Yeah.
understanding that everything starts with you.
It,
And
it,
it's so critical, so important because a lot of people are doing that. We're taking on others. We're passing down our trauma to children. The list goes on and on and on, bro. It happens in workplaces. It happens in friends. Like people project or put their fears onto other things, or when things are not going well. So again, it's just wanting to be different from that and be a positive light, and just
yeah.
use my language, just owning your shit.
Yeah. Nah, don't excuse the language. Say this again because,
You know what I'm saying?
and the thing is like, I want somebody to hear that heard that as like mean, but think of it if it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And
Let's,
I mean that in this moment to understand that like when you own your shit, nobody else can.
that's it. And no one else can use it against you.
Nobody can use it against you. And I think for me, a lot of times, the carrying your pain without passing it on to others, when I wrote that to myself was, I remember in my teenage years, hindsight taught me. But the pain I was in, I didn't know that's why I was doing what I was doing. Because I was carrying pain and passing it on.
Mm-hmm.
I can give you 3 people on the top of my head, and we've talked, and I apologize, that I could say I passed it on. They felt the pain I didn't even know how to acknowledge yet.
Yeah.
That I didn't even know was pain yet. And that was not the greatest example, but also a great, again, making the pain a testimony, a great example of understanding this is the capacity that it can get to.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to, going back to what we said, leave it better than you found it, but also understand that like that pain is your responsibility to figure out. Again, think of it as everything I just said was beautiful.
Yeah.
Because it comes down to that.
Yeah.
You want that. You want that. You want to figure it out. There'll be help others. Yes, there'll be definitely the Lord.
Amen.
At the end of the day, you want to make sure that you're not carrying it to anyone else. You're not giving it to anyone else. You're telling them. You're letting them help you. But you're not carrying it to them and saying, if they're not feeling how I'm feeling or agreeing with how I'm feeling, then, because I think that's a lot that happens right now in this world. I was listening to a podcast and the dude played like a little thing in the beginning, like just to start the episode, and basically it was a therapist talking about like how we misconstrued mental health, how we made mental health, if you feel like people are more about if any difficulty having, that must mean like they're overwhelmed or fear, without putting into the concept of what just life is. People are putting words and saying that if this is happening, that means I'm unsafe. If someone's disagreeing with me, that means it's an unsafe environment. It's like she was talking basically about like us retooling our minds to understand that like the real space is what's happening here.
Yes.
And seeing where your shit is doing some shit, and also see where you ain't doing nothing.
Yeah.
I often tell my friends, everything you just told me sounds like you're carrying 100% of the weight.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, if we go 60-40, what does it look like?
Yep.
And like figuring that out. And another thing I wanted to just quickly dive into real quick is, in us having this conversation, right? I feel like us doing this is us as men talking about the things we feel and how we think through it and experience them. So I want to just ask you, how can we as men create more honest conversations and safe spaces? I don't want to say safe spaces because it ain't about that. Sometimes with my bros, it ain't a safe space, but I know them niggas love me. So, and what I mean by that is like they might cut your ass, but that's what I mean regarding honest conversations. I wrote here without judgment.
So what's the question?
So, how do we as men create space for honest conversations without judgment?
create community and establish boundaries. So what I mean by community, because community is everything, bro. And we have to, honestly, you got to create the space for it. It starts with having conversations. It's you know,
Yeah.
if you grow, you got to be consistent with it, right? So it's really just about creating awareness. And by creating awareness is just using your gift, using all, and whether that's speaking, whether that's marketing, you know what I mean? And hopefully you can create community with that. But also establish boundaries is that because again, you gotta understand there's not a lot of people or men that's gonna be on that type of time. So just making aware that like, yo, the door's open. Like the door,
Yes.
this is open door policy. Like, we embrace and say everybody, but this is what we will be focusing on. This is what we're gonna allow, and this is what we're not gonna allow. So
Yeah.
even, you know, when I've done my lives in the past or when it was going on the pandemic and all that, like I made it clear for anybody that was coming to get helped, or healed during my live that like this is what the live is going to be about, and this is what we will not be doing. This is what we will not be allowing in the comment section. That's how you establish safe
Yeah.
space. That's how you establish intention. And if anybody crossed that boundary, they was going to be removed,
Yeah.
right? So it's just really just starting to have those conversations and make it clear on what's allowed and what's not allowed.
Yeah.
And you know, something that I teach my students right now that are trying to be leaders or mentors or trying to be anything, and it's like, yo, if you want someone to respect you and you want someone to follow and understand what you say, if you want to be able to say it one time and not have to repeat yourself, your message got to be clear and simple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Easy to understand and maintain. So like that is pretty much it, man. Just having a strong message, being consistent, and establish those boundaries because you know there's always going to be people that's going to want to test
That's gonna
you.
yeah. And as you're saying this, it's like for me, and I guess I never thought about this before because if you call any of my bros, they're gonna understand. We're gonna talk about everything, but then we're gonna talk about life. It's real quick. And for me, I remember most of my friends I've known since like sixth grade onwards, right? I remember I was growing up. I remember our 20s. And I remember it was like towards the end of our 20s where for me personally, what was happening in my life, I understood there were conversations that weren't being had. Hence why we're here. And I understood that like I might have to be the uncomfortable one in the room. You know how I started with my bros? Like my apartment was like the hub. Like everybody would pull up, right? And I remember one time we was eating wings, we was watching the game. The game was good. And then like the team just started like the team we were going for was losing. It was about to be done. But everyone was talking. And I just said, so how's everyone's mental health? I just said it, bro. And like they were like, what?
Mm-hmm.
I was like, yeah, bro, how's your mental? You good? And it just felt like the room changed in that moment. And then I kept on doing it. It was like they expected it after a while that after the game or something or during the halftime, it's just going to ask how we are. And I feel like, yeah, there were some of my bros that didn't want to, you know, they were like, I'm good and all of that. But I also saw that like us having those conversations helped the people that were saying I'm good to be like, let me talk. Let me tell y'all what's going on.
Great.
And that got our brotherhood stronger. And I feel like for men, it's understanding, as you said, community.
Yes.
Community is important, but also knowing that like when you hold space for somebody as a man, we gotta also understand that like this is somebody going through their shit.
Yes.
Let's be there for them. We can joke on them or whatever is funny during, but it's not funny at the end of the day. There has to be a line. And I often think like our line as men, and you know, but I know the line is yeah, you got all of that. We gotta stop. I'm not saying have deep in the eye conversation with your bros every time. I'm just saying show up for your bro.
Agreed.
In a non-judgmental way, in a whichever way you think about it. Hear their story.
Yes.
And see what that is.
Agreed.
I think as for men, a lot of times when I get around people or if I'm trying to talk, it's like they're like, I'm not doing that or I'm not going there.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get it, bro, but I would be perfectly here and willing to listen to you go there.
It's a touchy area for dudes.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, and I understand that. No, go ahead.
and if you think about it, why they don't want to go there is because they understand that they're gonna have to reveal a truth about them.
Yeah,
And some people are not comfortable
yeah,
walking and revealing their truth, right? And that's really what it comes down to. Whether they're afraid of judgment, they're afraid to be looked at differently. Maybe
yeah,
they're not ready to be accountable of it. Maybe not. They're not really ready to face it. So we're not going there. Like I'm not ready
yeah.
to let that.
You gotta
I'm not,
respect it. You
not
got,
ready.
yeah,
Right?
I'm not ready for that. And for me, it's like I 1,000% respect that. You know, the thing for me, I also like to plant a seed. I guess is if you are, bro, real shit. Like you come talk to me, and then what I do for me personally is then I share
Of
something.
course. That's how you build connection.
That's how you build because then it's like because sometimes people will hear that and they're like, all right,
Mm-hmm.
whatever. No, that's you like I'm still here. We're not going there, but I'll share something about myself. You know, there's no fix for it. But when I was writing this question, I was like, the space has to be honest
Yes.
and it has to be non-judgmental. But the way we get there is to really be like, yo, bro, I'm here for you. Like, say it. You know, it's so weird if a bro just came up to you like, yo, I'm here for you, bro.
Yes.
And like, you can talk to me if it's about love, if it's about work, if it's about your business. It's just a weird lingo for us.
Yes.
But the thing is, we have to, I would hope that we get to understand that that lingo is available to us as well to help
Yes.
help us in everything. And one thing I just wanted to before I go into the last question, bro, I wanted to talk about faith in this whole conversation, inward, outward, right? And the importance of faith in the inward. So when people see you, as you said, like breathtaking and all of those things, right? It's that they're seeing that work through faith. And I just wanted you to talk about the importance of faith in your life and also how that helps you through different modes that you go through.
Faith is just the reassurance of everything's gonna work out, man.
Yeah.
And it's not something you could physically see. It's not something that you could physically touch, but it's just something that you know, that you're sure about, right?
Yeah.
And faith grows through your testimonies. Faith grows through getting through storms, right? Um, that's how faith grows, right? When you see someone constantly showing up for you, which is God, in ways that no one can ever do or has done before.
Yeah.
Somebody I spoke with, which I still follow him on social media. I haven't spoken to him in years. I met this man through a friend of mine from college back in 2017. He's a gay fashion designer, and I just remember this dude before he got famous and before he blew. He We had a long conversation December 2017 before New Year started. I don't know why, but we was on like 5 hours, bro, and I'm still learning how to like get closer to God. Like I wasn't saved yet, wasn't baptized yet. This man just, and I still have the notes. I still have the I actually have the book right here, bro. This is
Oh, wow.
2000.
That's oh wow. Going into 2018.
Yes, right. Right. Just so you don't think I'm lying, bro. Like, and I'm not saying you think I'm lying, but like, dog, just
That's
I'm
amazing.
taking a
That's
note,
amazing.
just taking the notes, and he said, "Now faith is the assurance and title deed, the confirmation from God. You're not hoping for it; you already have
Mm.
it. The consistent in the inconsistent moments, right? This is everything that this man's telling me, bro. And um, let me see what it says. Uh, He was saying your blessing is not up for discussion. They are coming to you to beg who you are and not who you are trying to be. Like, dog, just I'm listening to this man speak, bro, and he gave me this perfect example that I still use to this
Yeah.
day. And he was just like, faith is like a hotel reservation.
It's a what?
Hotel reservation.
Mm.
It could be hotel. It could be
I see what he means. I can see that now.
all-inclusive resort. It could be a plane ticket. Like, once you book it and pay for it, or you reserved it, right? And let's say you do this for like January 1st, 2026. You're not checking every day up until January 1st of like, do I still have it? Or you're calling the hotel, like,
Yeah.
I still have the room, or do I is my room fine? Like, that's faith.
Yeah.
You got the confirmation, you got the reservation number, like you know it's there, you know your name's on it, signed, sealed, delivered,
And you're trusting it will be there.
and you're trusting it will be there, but you're not calling every day like, hey, do I like think how annoying that hotel probably will block you and remove your reservation all day, right?
Yeah.
And he said that's fake, bro. Like you know it's already yours. Like you're not trying to be, you're already it. And you gotta believe, man. You gotta believe in something. You just are, because it's not, you can't get throughout this world without belief, bro.
Yeah.
And for me, my belief is in God, and that's what's helped me. Um, is my faith always on 100 and 110? No, because you have to go through moments for you to be in situations where your faith needs to be increased, right? And I think that's why God shows up in different seasons, is because sometimes you need that new testimony, you need that new sign, you need that new break to kind of get you to that
To
next thing, to
move
that
you forward to the next
move
thing.
forward, the
Yeah.
next, right?
And trusting that the faith got you to here to get to the next thing.
Agreed,
And it
bro.
will be there in the next thing.
Agreed. So,
For me, I feel like one thing about faith for me, without bringing Jesus Christ and everyone, is understanding it's not seen.
it's not.
You're dealing with something not seen. That means in the control part of you, you can foster something there to make seen things through faith. That's what I believe. Like the faith I know and what God will do for me in years to come. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know what it looks like, but I know by being here with Him, I will get something that shows me what that faith looks like eventually.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, it may not be on my timing. It may not happen in the exact plan I wrote it, or it may. But either way that it happened, it is still something that I have to not see to believe to then see. And I think oftentimes we have to remember that part of our faith, that like when you start faithful, you won't see it yet.
Mm-mm.
And not seeing it yet is not evidence that you don't have it. Not seeing it yet is evidence that there's work to be done to get to it.
Can you keep the same energy when you have?
Yeah. And I think a lot of life is, it's a lot you can't control. But in the same sentiment, there's a lot you can't.
Mm-hmm.
So it's even in the paradox where if life is in the things of everything you can't control, those two sentences still hold true. There's still a lot that you can't control. Mm-hmm. It's finding where that is. And that's where, when you find that, is where you find faith.
Amen.
So you use those things as the anchor for the season that may not be, that a storm may be crashing your boats.
Yeah.
But you're staying on it.
It's perspective, man. It's just it's choosing how you want to react and respond.
Yeah.
You know?
Each time. And I think also in overall everything we do, we gotta understand faith helps.
Yes.
It's not one of those things that it's just, like for me sometimes when I'm like, yo, bro, I thought this was gonna happen. And it's like, oh yeah, I have a plan, I'm still going at it. But in this moment where I thought it could happen, this emotion can take a nigga out. No, we're not letting that happen. We're
Yes,
understanding we just aren't there yet.
great.
And that goes to the everyone to tell them you don't give up. You have not failed. Failure is only when you give up. That's when you can check failure out. But if you haven't given up, but you just haven't gone there, keep going. Keep going. And whatever it is. But also understand, just keep going in your life. Like, life isn't about things. Life is about you living it.
Mm-hmm.
So keep going in that at least. And then let everything else come, you know? My brother, I have a whole Bible verse here that I would just want to read you before I ask the final question. I know we're going a little over. But
No, you're
it's
good. I was looking this.
it, it's Hebrews 12:11, right? And it says, no discipline seems pleasant at the time, but painful. Later on, however, it produces a harvest of righteousness and peace for those who have been trained by it.
That's good.
I just want, what did you hear when you heard that? Number one.
You don't grow from comfort. I don't know about you. I've never learned from anything when things are going well and things are
I
good.
think we're easy. Yeah.
I've never learned.
Okay.
Like a lot of my biggest lessons throughout life has been through painful moments. Right?
Yeah.
It's been things that I did not want to happen. It's been through things that was out of my control. So also understanding that like through that discipline, that's a blessing. That's an opportunity to really see what you're capable of doing. That's an opportunity for, because I know it says in the book of James, like when trials is coming, like that's an opportunity to test your faith. Like it's those faith growing
Tested and approved.
moments, right? So it's discipline's not something you're gonna love to do, but it's something you need to have in order for you to grow.
Yeah.
And I just look at it as like it's the ultimate accountability partner
Yeah.
because
It
we all
is.
need it.
It is. And the for me when I read that, it was the discipline and then trained
Yeah,
by it.
you need
You
experience.
need it. And then
You need
sometimes
experience.
when that perspective could shift that like this may be a needed experience for a different way,
Mm-hmm.
that's where God is like it produces the harvest of righteousness and peace. Because
Mm-hmm.
it won't feel good in the beginning. And
Mm-mm.
and I agree with you. Most things that like even if they feel good in the beginning, I understood the process that it took to even get that moment.
Yes.
And for me, it's like life is repetitive, so that's life.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
You have to go through a process to get your moments over and over and over again. And seeing when I read that, I was like, bro, I just wanted to. Sometimes I've incorporated it into the podcast where I just read a Bible verse and just be like, hey, what did you think
Mm-hmm.
about that? Because the mind does a thing, but also in the inward and outward conversation, it's understanding that like no discipline seems pleasant at the time.
Because you gotta know like just the difference between living through that experience and studying about that experience. Right?
Exact there.
There's people that there's people that got PhDs and masters in foster care and trauma and those kind of things, but never lived it.
Yeah.
I've been in the system. I've been through foster care, so it's like it's two different things,
Yeah,
man.
it's two different things, but also understand that even if you learn about it, if you're living through it, it's going to produce a different experience. My sister once told me, she was like, you can't psychology love.
That's facts.
Yeah, it's true facts, bro.
That's
Can't psychology it because you got to live it,
agreed.
know it.
There was
So,
a quote from this couple, retired NFL player and his wife, and I think they're doing a podcast now. And it says something that's like, "Yo, stop giving married advice if you're not married."
yeah.
And I'm like, I can respect.
I can respect that too because it's a different thing that you can have an opinion on, but I can't have advice specifically on. Because I can't give you where I'm drawing from to give you this. And sometimes, yeah, drawing from books and statistics and all of that is great, but like I've learned a lot in this life that like when people are drawing from what they've gone through to try to help you, it's very powerful. as well, you know.
Think about regular 9 to 5 work experience, right? You go through trainings, but the real growth is when you finally start to
When
be
you're in
hands.
front of that workplace and you got to do it.
Mm-hmm.
That's a fact. That's a fact. My brother,
Mm-hmm.
we have done this. We have done well. And I feel like for me, even just summing up this conversation before I ask you the last question, is understanding your identity. And we'll just put this in an outline, right? For men and their mental health dealing in that. Understanding your identity, understanding what drives you,
Mm-hmm.
understanding your definitions, understanding what pain you have so you don't pass it on, and moving in those spaces. And it's so much more, but that's what we got to in this conversation. But those are things in the mind that has to start inward.
Yes.
You can't let the out tell you your identity. You can't let the out tell you your drive. You can't let them tell you what your pain is and tell you you can't heal from it. You can't. You gotta start inward, outward. And bro, one thing I would ask you as the final question I ask every guest is if you could advise somebody that is going through that perception change, that thought process of I need to look inward for my outward, what is one thing you will tell them to keep at the forefront of their mind as they're thinking about that?
Stop cheating on their future with their past. That's one of my favorite lines is because I think one of the biggest struggle that you have with inward is when you keep reliving your past, right? Or you can't let go of past memory, or you keep going back to something that you need to stop going back, right? And I don't, whether you realize it or not, you're in a relationship with your future self. And a lot of us want a certain life, but then a lot of us are in a present time, moving and acting in a way that sometimes is not going to get us to life, right? And I don't think we realize it's the stuff in the inner work that we need to do inward what's going to produce us getting that life that we want on the outside, right?
Yeah.
So stop cheating on your future with your past. That looks different for a lot of people, but the biggest battle that people are going inward is up here. It's our thoughts, it's our words, it's the things that we consume, the things that we watch, the things that we give our time to. It's our habits, right? Our routine, right?
Yeah.
All that affects our outward.
Yeah.
Because the stuff that we're doing inward, the things that we're allowing on the inside, the things that we continue to consume on a daily, whether it's social media, these movies, the music, the videos that we consume, you know what I mean? The people that we allow ourselves around, our thoughts for ourselves, right?
Yeah.
The things that we read. So that's one of my biggest sayings is stop cheating on your future with your past.
Bro, I love that. And for me, that's a bar because it's like the past can't do anything for you, then be a great wisdom, but it should not eliminate that you have a future.
You got
That,
to think about it like this, man. The word present, it means different words for a lot of different things, but present is the time, right?
yeah.
This present. But
Yeah.
also when you think about present, it's considered a gift.
It's a gift, yeah.
And that's how I think about the present. It's a gift
It's
to
a gift to be here.
be
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
And that's the part that where a lot of people are not living.
Yeah. Because they're
So folks,
looking at the future while using their past to
you good, you good. I can hear you. I can hear you now.
no,
Uh,
I got cut off. My phone did a whole Instagram. I have on my Instagram like a cutoff
you
daily.
you straight. You straight.
Yeah, so it might happen again because I think I chose the wrong thing and I said 1 minute. So when it comes back, I'm gonna have to tell it for the day. But no, exactly what you're saying. The present, it is a gift, and it's like the math has to adjust to understand the gift is what's going to help you to determine a better formula, not what has been. Not what has been.
Amen.
So, bro, we got through all the topics, bro. Thank you so much, my brother, for joining, coming on the conversation, bro. Because one thing for me, as I told you earlier, before we give it a second, can you hear me?
I hear you now.
Yeah, one thing I was saying about the conversation is I was going back and forth with myself on like having the conversation or putting the gear in it, and then this thought coming to me, and I'm just grateful to you that this is something that I was thinking, who could I have this conversation with? And I thought about, bro, I wanted to do a panel,
Yeah.
like, but I'm so grateful to God because I think He really aligned it that this was a refreshing conversation to have, and to also just understand to encourage everyone, but men specifically, that like that inward really affects that outward. If you just on the outward, the math probably isn't right. Yeah, it might look good, but like we're going for like the longevity of it, not just the momentary part of it.
Amen. I do not, bro.
So my brother, I thank you for coming on today, bro. As I say before I end every conversation, and shout out to everybody. If you're listening right now, we're ending June.
Facts.
We're going to that, 2025, 5 more months. I don't like to name it, but it is. So it's like I hope 2025 is well for you.
Appreciate
And if it hasn't been, I hope that it will be, and it will change for you. And to trust everything, but start inward. Start inward, please, so it can determine truly the outward you want. Again, bro, thank you so much for joining, bro. And as I say before I end every conversation, until next time, everybody. Later, bro.
Peace.